Welcome to the Common Humanity podcast, where we are here to have real human conversations. Today, my guest is Gasti. He is.
Uh-huh.
Did I say it wrong? Did I say it right?
No,
Okay,
that's
good.
good. Sounds
Okay,
pretty good.
okay.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
yeah.
lie.
Some people say like Gasti or something like that, but it's okay.
Um,
Can start. Mhm.
yeah, Gaston. So as a quick side note, are you a fan of Disney movies?
DC movies, yeah, I prefer DC. Yeah.
Okay, so that was just a side note question because when Christopher told me that you'd be willing to talk to me and he told me your name, I'm a Disney fanatic, at least for Disney music. I started singing the song Gaston. Just so you
Right,
know. But anyway, side note. Um, so what I know about you is you live in
Mhm.
Argentina
Right,
and you are a graphic design student, but also have your own business that you're working on.
right. Yeah, I'm like have like my business. Yeah, but it's no like here we work in that way that like freelancer something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, and you can pay some money to the state to be like in papers, but
yeah.
you don't need to have that. Like it's worthless at the end. So yeah, that's what I do. Yeah, I really like graphic design. Um, because I just starting when I start university, like in 2000, 16, I think. Yeah. I start with architecture because I don't know my father was an architecture, my mother was she's a lawyer, and they wanted me to study something like I don't know you need to make money like I don't know and I choose architecture back because I don't know because I liked creating things when I was a child. I know playing Sims like that game, so I was about to do that. I do like 1 year of architecture in the University of Buenos Aires. I mean, I really like studying that because it's pretty nice. You can discover things that I don't know. You can think the things our way. Look at the buildings. I don't know. You can discover things, but one part of the of that degree that I really like it was the hand draw, like doing the houses with like I know with paper and that stuff that you have to make. So the artistic part of architecture, and I think I have like a revelations 1 year. Um, I mean, I like to draw. I spend all my time drawing.
Yeah.
I like I don't know all the stuff. I like to go to museums and see the art. Why I can I don't know go further in that thing and discover more of that thing that like was a hobby, but always love it to do that. So yeah, so I had to make the decision and I changed to graphic design. I mean, I lost 1 year, but I don't think it's lost it because I learned a lot of things. I meet so many people,
Yeah.
so I didn't regret that. And now, yeah, now I'm graphic designer and I really love it. And I'm about that. I think it is 5 years to complete the degree. I'm in the fourth, so yeah, I'm pretty far. But yeah, I just loving it. Yeah, sorry, I
You're good.
stopped talking.
Um, so I think this is fantastic to me. One of my degrees is actually in architecture. Um,
Nice.
and I went through all 5 years and decided I didn't
Mhm.
want to be an architect. So,
Right. Yeah,
but I think
that's
it's
hard.
because it was like I did all of my drawings by hand, and whenever we
Hmm.
had to do computer rendering, I hated it. Like
Okay.
I could do it, but I hated it.
Right.
I was told my professor is like, there's a zen in drawing a line, and there's not
Mhm.
as much of a zen when you're like just clicking buttons on a computer. But this was
Right.
also for like, this was, God, how old am I? So this was, we'll go with 15 plus years
Mhm.
ago. So
Right.
there weren't like drawing tablets. It was like AutoCAD or
Mhm.
Revit and things like that. And it wasn't
Yeah. No.
like, I felt like the computer aspect was taking the art out of architecture, and I
Mhm.
didn't like it. Um,
That's
so I found
true.
that that you were drawn more towards the computer aspect of it, and that drew you towards graphic design. I love that. Um,
Yeah.
so if you were to answer this question,
Mhm.
who are you?
Worry. Okay.
Who are you?
Where I. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think I can define like a calm guy.
Okay.
People say me I'm pretty calm, like quiet, but I don't know. I mean, I'm it's not shy. It's my more like an introvert. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
So,
Yeah, yeah, I like things that call me, like music.
mhm.
I know. So video games, exercising. So that things like this distend my mind. That's
Do you
pretty
have
good.
a favorite type of music?
Favorite? Yeah, yeah, I like a lot like alternative rock. So again, I don't know, like Arctic Monkeys, The Strokes.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of Red Hot Chili Peppers too.
Nice.
Yeah, since I was a child, so yeah, yeah, I like music, and there's a guitar over there.
Nice.
I think, yeah, yeah. So yeah, it really is pretty helpful for your mind, and I don't know,
Yeah.
it's like disconnect you from this world.
From all the crazy on the outside, and let you
Yeah.
just like chill out. And you say you like exercise. So like, what type of exercise? Are you one of those like runners? I'm not a runner. Um, lifting weights, like do you like, is there that something that you're drawn to more than others? Or are you like a general cross training kind of person?
Yeah, I like a lot riding the bike. I have my bike here and going here, New York City. I can go to the river here by the bike, so that's pretty good. Um, and also I like um lifting weights too. So yeah, I have my own weights. I don't like so much going to the gym because I feel more comfortable in my house, but
Mm.
I think that doesn't matter. The thing that my objective doing that is not for looking better. Or it's like feeling myself better. Like I'm doing things. I'm progressing. And that's I think that's good for yeah. And it's also it works kind of like the music. Like it
Yeah.
stands me, help me to don't think in other things.
Helps you stay in your body and not too busy with all of the craziness that's happening on the outside.
Right.
Um, so I want to know, okay, first of all, have you traveled outside of Argentina?
Yeah. You're more like vacation trips, holidays, but yeah, yeah. I go to oh no, near here we go to Brazil, Uruguay. Uh, they have like nice beach and that stuff. And yeah, I once I will go to like Orlando and Miami.
Oh,
Yeah, with my aunt. Yeah, we go to the Disney trip, Universal, that stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, the know what I mean. And I mean, I really like it. I like to meet the USA. I don't know. And but if I can choose, I will go to I don't know, San Francisco, Los Angeles. I mean, other places besides the more the Disney stuff. That yeah. I think that's it. I want to go to Europe, but it's for another year.
And that, I
Yeah.
mean, that's on my bucket list too. So, um,
Yeah.
what would you say? So since you've seen, I mean, if you've been to Miami, you've seen at least city life in
Mhm.
the US. What's your day-to-day life like? And would you say from what your experience of like traveling has been, would you say that
Mhm.
that is different or more different or more similar to like living in America?
So can you repeat the last part? Sorry.
So since you since you've experienced at least on vacation what it's been like in different places including America,
Mhm.
what would you say that your day-to-day life in Argentina is more like America or more unlike America? So like, I mean, we
Right.
drive cars everywhere. Well, I guess it depends on which city you're or like where you live, but it's very westernized and
Mhm.
um like lots of commerce kind of controls our entire lives. Um
Right.
is
Here,
it
yeah,
similar or different?
in Buenos Aires, like uh, I'm studying here. I'm not really from here. I born like I don't know 500 kilometers away,
Okay.
in a small town, like super green, trees everywhere, and people like they all live like more like my style, more calm. They can sleep, they can take naps all the days of the weekend. They relax, they go easy. They also drive the cars easy. And
Yeah.
here in the city, it's like it was a big change for me because you have to. I moved alone, and it was like the big city going on here in Buenos Aires. Like it's a lot of people, places, commercial stuff, and also the prices are higher. So and people live like super accelerated, super fast. They don't take time to relax. That's like living on this city. But you have a lot of places um, that here allow that if you build stuff, you have to like your 70% of the ground has to be for grass and trees. You can build up here after. So
Oh,
that's a good thing because if you go around the city, it has a lot of places with green parks, and also the houses have has big gardens and that stuff. That's where I like it to be. I mean, I live in a building that's like I have like four windows, but they all look to other buildings.
mhm.
So it's like a box. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
I think that's nice because if you live there, you need to go out more. So
yeah.
it's like, go out, please.
It makes me
And
happy that they
mhm,
make it so there has to be greenery because
yeah.
that's, I mean, in general, like design wise, it's a huge
Mhm,
problem. Um, I was in Boston a few weeks ago and it was such a stark difference because everything is concrete. And like
right.
we went to a park and people were
Mhm.
still walking on the concrete and I was like,
Oh,
grass right there. Why are
right.
people not walking on grass?
Yeah, I
um
mean,
and so it makes me happy that at least they plan for that so that they can keep
yeah.
some aspect of nature around. Um
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, my town, my born town, yeah, they have a lot of. It's like, I think it's the most cleaner town in the state.
Hmm.
Like, you don't see trash anywhere. Like, it's super clean, and I always, when I go to there, the first thing I do is like going to the. We have like a big park, super natural with no concrete,
Hmm.
a lot of trees, mini lakes, and that stuff. I threw myself in the grass, and I mean, close my eyes, and I don't think nothing. Like, it's like, I don't know, you can breathe another air. So
I like that.
yeah.
So do you, when you're done with university, are you planning on staying in the city, or are you planning on going
Hmm.
home? Or are you planning on going somewhere else?
That's the big question. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know because uh, I have a goal that requires going to Italy
Okay.
to get my passport from there, so I can have the European passport. And just now in Argentina, things are doing pretty well in the economy, lifestyle, that stuff. So I don't know, it's going down and down and down. And you don't know what can happen next. I mean, we have elections coming, but it's pretty difficult for anybody to for grab it. It's like a big uh, thing going on, and I don't know. Going outside is it's kind of like a big opportunity. Like
Yeah.
nobody can, no anybody have it. And I mean, yeah, I need to do the paper stuff and that. Yeah, maybe learning some Italian, but it's a good goal. And I don't know, I'm not super like rush. I had to have a big rush for that, but because I'm finishing the studies, I'm like working on myself, my work, my portfolio, and that stuff. And I mean, yeah. And the papers take like here, if you do it here, you have to wait like 2 years so they
Okay.
can give you the passport. Or you can go to Italy, work some time there, and I think it's faster there the way. Yeah, but a lot of people, many of my friends are going. Like some are going to, I don't know, Netherlands, Australia. A lot of people going to Australia. So yeah, also they sometimes, I don't know, like my aunt is like, he study medicine
Hmm.
like for 10 years. You have all the degrees, all the techniques, all the things you can have. And here his salary is the same. I don't know, you can be a regular sailor and you can win more money than him, like study like 10 years, 15 years, people that live the life studying, and they don't pay you so well. So we have public uh, health here, like a
Yeah.
system. Yeah, and they also thinking moving Chile. So yeah, I like the idea of moving, but I will miss uh, the Argentina, my
Yeah.
family, and that stuff. That's a hard part.
So why Italy?
Italy, because my grandma parents were from there,
Okay.
and yeah, I can have that connection. So yeah, they let me have the passport. But with the passport, I think you can go, if you have that, you can later go to, I don't know, Spain or places. But Italy, I see a lot. Also, I like the language. Italian is pretty nice language, and it's similar to Argentinian, and we have pretty connected to Spanish, so that's not bad. Yeah, I like the places. I like culture, history, and yeah. And you, when you are there, you can take a train and go to 3 countries
Yeah.
in 2 days. So,
Yeah.
um,
What?
Sounds
when I go
awesome.
to Europe, that's one of the
Yeah.
things I look forward to is you can just hop on a train and just
Right.
cross Europe. um, do you still
Right.
do you still have any family that you know of in Italy?
Um, no, no, they moved like wartime. So yeah, they came here in boats and that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, but no, I think no. I know the place, the city, the town where my grandpa lives. But
mm,
yes, that's a good place to go to visit. And I also have a like my father grandpa was from Spain, but yeah, yeah, for Spain it's different. You can get the papers. You have to be like right
yeah.
uh, son or something like that. But Spain is pretty nice too.
Um, what is your diet like in Argentina? Like, what kind of food do you eat?
Food here in Argentina or me, because I'm
Both.
pretty shanky for eating. I like USA stuff. Like I don't know. I was just talking with Christopher last day, and I tell him like, do you never try like Oreos with cream and peanut butter? And I know things like I know I like my breakfast like I like the eggs and the bacon that stuff. But yeah, but my diet is like I drink a lot of water, coffee, and I don't like sodas. That stuff. I mean, I like it, but I don't like to have them. So yeah, stay out from there. And food, I like to. I don't know. I have a like a vegan time
Hmm.
so long ago, but my body wasn't responsive so good. So yeah, I mean, I have like I don't know how to say that. Yeah, yeah. If you don't eat so many proteins or meat or things that chicken have, like I know I feel like I wasn't taking the vitamin like
Yeah.
B12. I think is it, but yes, it was a hard time. But I don't know. I think if you can control it, that's pretty good because that's that's a great way of I don't know eating and respecting animals at the same time. But I think you have to you need the time, and here is not accessible. Like it's not so cheap the vegan food, and
Yeah.
I know you can make all the stuff, but yeah, it requires some time and organization. This time of my life, I don't have that time for do that. I don't know, but no, yeah, I really like chicken, rice, things that have protein, that help me, and I don't know nuts and that stuff. Like they're pretty good.
See,
Mm,
I argue that you can still eat meat and respect animals.
yeah.
I think I mean, you can look at how your meat is sourced and things like that, but also,
Mhm.
I mean, indigenous cultures have consumed meat in a respectful manner for
Right.
centuries, so
Hmm.
it can be done. Um, but also, I think there's a big part. So, like, I live in Wyoming. There
Right.
is in case you're wondering, that's the middle of nowhere in the United States. Like
Hmm.
people doesn't exist. Anyway, um, where there's ranches and farms and all
Hmm.
sorts of land and not a lot of people. It's fantastic. Um,
Thanks.
but there's not a vegan restaurant here.
Right.
There's a couple of places that have popped up around here that like if you're lucky, they have like vegan baked goods. But
Okay.
that it's not how the culture is here. The culture
Right.
here, like we eat cows.
Yeah,
And
yeah. No,
um
here is pretty similar that way. I mean, you see barbecues everywhere here. I mean, we have a lot of cows and that stuff. So yeah, like um, yeah, in the city you have more options, but if you go down to my town, I don't know, it's pretty hard to find. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, we don't know how the places are not all prepared. Yeah, the culture, society is not right into it now. I think we have a lot of problems as a war going on.
yeah,
That's one of it, but I don't know. And if you can eat comfortable, that's I think that's the best way. You don't need to do it for someone else or I don't know, for feeling yourself better if you don't care. If you I don't know, you have to eat what do you can and you like more. I don't know. That's it. You
yeah.
have to
And
enjoy it.
it it's definitely, I have this conversation with people a lot because I nerd out about this, but
Mhm.
every time I try to bring it up, I forget the word. Um, it bother me. Um, well, I can give you the definition if I can't remember the word. So essentially, humans eat, like, we're not just omnivores where we eat plants and meats and whatever, but we eat whatever is available. So like if you
Right.
look at, you study humans eat whatever is in
Hmm.
their, like, wherever they live,
Yeah,
they
in the
eat.
surroundings.
And
Mhm.
so the idea that we're supposed to have one type of
Right.
diet doesn't match historically. I mean, there are people
Mhm.
in Ireland who lived off of potatoes, just potatoes,
Yeah.
that kept them alive. They had
Right.
potatoes. Um, that's also why historically they now have very bland food
Hmm.
because that's what they're all used to. This is a totally random question, but I
Right.
see a little critter climbing around behind you every once in a while. Who's that?
Oh, behind me?
Yeah, there's,
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't think he's there right now. Maybe he is.
I have you.
I love him.
I have a black cat. Yeah, I'm a cat. A cat one. ¿Qué pasa?
What's his
His
name?
name is Pistachio.
Oh, so Pistachio?
Yeah, like the ice cream. Yeah,
Oh,
and it's
that's fantastic. He's adorable.
he was living. Yeah, he's like my son for me. He makes
Nice.
me like a pretty good company. Science pandemic stuff. Yeah, I was in a relationship, and the pandemic like break his.
Hmm.
Yeah, and and this cat was like I don't know 1 year at the time, and yeah, he's a good company, and yeah, we play a lot, we sleep together, and it gives me yeah that strength you
Very
need.
nice.
Mhm. Yeah,
Um,
it's so cute.
that brings up a question. So,
Yeah,
how how was the pandemic for you? But like, how did it play out in Argentina?
right. I don't know. One day it was so good. Just yeah, we saw the president on TV. He says like, no one is going out. I don't know. And the other day I just go out, and it was like Chernobyl. Like I was seeing anybody. I don't live in a residential area. It's more like commercial.
Mm-hmm.
So all was closed. Like I don't see anybody else like gray everywhere. I mean, what? And yeah, it was like pretty hard to manage. But I don't know. We were like, mm, you can go out to the supermarket, that stuff,
Mhm.
and like around you, and we've been like there. I think it was like 4 months like that. Later we have a thing that you can go out in certain hours, like I don't know, uh, to I think it was like from 10 p.m. to 17 no 10 a.m. to 17 p.m., something like that, and later you can go out. Yeah, it was awful, but I think it was necessary for all the things like dorm spend. And but yeah, the government doesn't take care pretty good. Like it wasn't so the organization and that stuff. Like the vaccines, like they come pretty later, and I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of people die. Um, Medics were working the last hours or not sleeping. Yeah, and yeah, it was pretty rough. I mean, but yeah, I think it makes people like more. I can how I can say it, like I think people grew up with the pandemic with some aspects. I mean, like they they start business. I mean, like me, like a graphic design, I get a lot of shock from that because people was making stuff like in their phones, like I don't know, producing and creating business because people stay in the home and doing things, and yeah, that was a good thing, and yeah, I think it made us strong after all. Yeah, so yeah, there's a bridge we have with the mental health because I don't know, some people were more affected, and some people like take advantage and grow up. Meant like I don't know, I was like in my I was like I don't know 6 months here without seeing my family, and I don't know. Sometimes like mind can trick you. Need to see people, communicate is so important. I mean, you can have a cat, you can have your TV, your music, but you need to see people. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I found like talking to people, whether it's been in other countries or in bigger cities,
Mhm.
because again, I live in Wyoming. We were like, they tried to shut stuff down for 2 weeks, and
Right.
our residents were like, no. So, like,
Right. That's
I mean,
nice.
during the pandemic, I worked more than I
Mhm.
did before the pandemic, and I was like
Right.
always in public, and it was, um, so my experience is different than people who lived in big cities where there
Mhm.
were more restrictions. Um, so like I still got to see people, but I've talked to people who
Right.
were in an apartment and
Mhm.
not really allowed to leave for months on end, and um that just it almost seems surreal.
Yeah.
I feel like a global pandemic in and of itself is kind of surreal.
Mhm.
Um, but it's one of the things I talk about a lot is the fact that humans are social creatures,
Yeah.
and it's not just the pandemic aspect and that isolation, but in our day-to-day lives, like we thrive within community, and we thrive
Mhm.
when we have people who like have the same core beliefs as us, and we get to sit down and talk with them, even if
Right.
it's over coffee or um playing video games or whatever.
Mhm.
I think one of the beautiful things about the pandemic is it made at least some people, like you were talking about, like some people
Yeah.
um actually grew and like their lives got better because of it,
Mm-hmm.
because like they were forced to shut down all that outside stuff and focus
Right.
on their stuff. Um, but I made friends all across the world during the pandemic because
Right.
I
That's
was
true.
online more.
Mm-hmm.
And people I never would have met because I didn't like I don't think I had an Instagram really before. I think I had it, but I didn't like use it.
Right.
And then um but yeah, and like since then I've been able to have conversations with people all over the world because I realized that if somebody has internet,
Yeah,
like
you can talk to them.
like you can take the world from really big and make it really small as long as you have
Hmm.
a good connection.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was telling Christopher. Yeah, yeah, because we are playing a game now. Yeah, I told him like I don't play online games for competition, or I don't know. It's more like yeah, going taking a chat with someone, just conversation and knowing people that yeah you never imagined that you can know, like, that's the best part after all. I mean, for me it helps a lot. Like, I don't know, like games today they are made like, no, you have to leave the you can't leave the screen, you have to keep playing, like I don't know, they are full, you have to put money and
Yeah.
use your head and that stuff. And I think games or maybe other platform that connect you with people, um, yeah, it's like, for me it's like, I don't know, therapy. It works pretty good because yeah, I can enjoy a good conversation, talking whatever I want, and yeah, meeting people. That's so important. Yeah, um, that's true. The pandemic works for that too. Um, what I was about to say. Uh, what you're saying about the last thing you said about the sorry, I got lost.
Me too, because ADHD. What was the last thing I said?
Yeah, before
um,
pandemic.
it was, oh my god. Um, just the idea that like being able to connect with people. I think I think the I think the beauty of the pandemic was that it reminded people that connection matters. Like because when you
Mhm.
lose something,
Right.
you recognize that you have to
Yeah,
put effort into it.
yeah,
So
how
like
much you love it. Yeah, how much,
yeah,
yeah,
and
I
I mean I talked to friends I hadn't talked to in years because
mm-hmm.
I was like maybe I should actually keep in touch with people. And shamingly, I have gone back to my ways of not talking to them as much, which I should be better at. But
Okay.
um but yeah, I just think I think connection is just a huge thing. And
Mhm.
I also think the pandemic gave people the opportunity to try new things and like shift like people who hated their jobs and they got furloughed or they got fired because their whole job shut down.
Mhm.
um they had to find a way to make money. So you're talking about
Right.
people started businesses, and there are some people who like the only way that they could continue to make money and support their families was to start a business.
Right.
And now they have a business to run and they became an entrepreneur because they were put in a situation where like working for someone else was no longer an
Mm-hmm.
option. And so I think, I mean, a lot of times I think the change that people need has to be forced.
Yeah.
Um, there are a handful of people in the world who I feel like have that internal motivation to be like, I'm gonna change for the better. But I feel like most people realize that they're going to change for the better like after a breakup, or if they lose a loved one, or a
Right.
pandemic hits, like something happens that makes them go, oh shit, like
Yeah.
I have to move. um and I think it was just like, I mean, it was a worldwide like mass, oh my god, I
Mhm.
like we have to change something.
Right.
And I don't know, I think good things can come away from bad experiences. And
Yeah, a
so
lot of good things.
I think that's,
Yeah, you have to see things like in positive ways. Like have to be optimistic. And yeah, um, I mean, yeah. Besides the hard times, you need to find a way to keep fighting and surviving for what you like. Yeah, yeah. You can lose jobs, relationships, people. Yeah. After all, yeah, yeah. You have to take the inner force, and yeah, I don't know. Sometimes when I feel I don't know some like down or kind of sad or I don't know whatever, I like to going out and watching people or like enjoying things like I don't know when you see like a grandpa with his dog and he's smiling, he's happy about that, and you see that and you get some inner force that man, people can be happy for little things. So I don't know, just a smile can change you already. I don't know.
yeah, I think that's beautiful. I agree. I always, actually, I
Yeah.
wrote a poem, but it's a very short poem, but it was talking about, I'm a poet, so,
Okay.
um, but it was, I can't remember it off the top of my head, but it was just talking about how I go on walks so that I can smile at strangers. Because I think just smiling at a stranger can, like,
Great.
I 100% believe in the butterfly effect. Like, if I do a good deed for somebody and it brightens their day, and then
Yeah.
they do it for somebody, it brightens somebody else's day, and then it just ripples
Yeah. That's
across.
a big connection. But yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah. Um, do you feel like, whether it was the pandemic or any other life event, do you have something that has like made you go, I need to get my shit together, or like something that has, something drastic that has
Mhm.
like changed your course?
And besides the pandemic and that, like, what else can make me change that
Well,
radical?
have you had any experiences in your life where like you've felt there's been a drastic change? And that, I mean, what is a
Right.
drastic change is relative,
Yeah.
but anything that you were like, like
Yeah.
this changed me.
Yeah. Maybe yeah. The break point that I told you, yeah, from architecture to graphic design was a big change because yeah, I'm like in my head is always planning and looking to the future. Like yeah, I'm gonna be working on this. Like I don't see myself like working like an architect in the future. I think I like other things, and I don't want to spend my life doing something that I don't like. I mean,
Yeah,
or maybe I like, but I don't want to work with them.
right.
I mean, yeah, that was a break point. Yeah, and it changed me a lot. Yeah, and besides pandemic, I in pandemic I start taking better care of myself, my body, what I was eating, that stuff. And yeah, I think yeah, maybe in my childhood, like my grand I remember my grandpa suddenly like he died when I was like 7 years.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, and it makes me live like life from I don't know always like people goes and comes everywhere like they I have like a word ephemeral ephemeral let me introduce this because it's a great word to define the people. Like what I mean is like yeah yeah the things can be here but people is going and coming and going everywhere and yeah let me introduce because it's a nice word yeah. Mhm. Ephemeral bodies like ephemeral people, you know what I
No.
mean?
No.
I can write it. Do you know that
Okay.
word ephemeral?
I not like I feel like I do, but I'm looking it
Okay,
up just in case.
I can define you. It's like
Okay, so it says lasting for a very short time. Definition.
yeah
So like, are you trying to say people come and go from your life? Is that what you're trying
yeah
to say?
yeah all the
Okay.
time and you maybe sometimes you don't have the you don't think of that and I don't know and you get into something and you forget that people is moving and I don't know I mean one thing yeah uh, because I think I don't know maybe the building the stuff your home all that stuff that things last for forever but yeah people's you have to talk to them to see him your parents
Yeah.
your family your friends because you don't know maybe they can go to Australia maybe they die maybe I don't know they find another thing to do and yeah you have to show them and yeah get from there like from they like the best things like I don't know I think all the people have something to offer like they have always have a good thing that they can transfer to you
Yeah.
that
I
you can
agree.
learn a lot of things.
Well, that's that's why like I had you
Mhm.
on because you can I feel like there's so much wisdom that you can gain through a conversation with a person.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be about anything in particular. It's just talking to another human being just expands your mind and
Right.
expands your heart and your empathy and all of that stuff just because you're connecting with another human. So I 100% agree with you. Um,
That's it.
okay, so we're gonna move on to our little game real quick. Um,
Okay.
so you get to answer first, and then I'll answer. So the first question: have you ever received any awards or accolades?
Awards. I think I have some like um, I exposed some illustrations
Hmm.
yeah in some galleries but not so it's more like it was more like under parties and that stuff
Yeah,
but yeah and the school obviously some award I get like from being a good child and stuff but yeah I really don't look for that but I think that's a good way to encourage people and give them like, you can do it, you can do it better also too.
Yeah. I would say in my younger days, I had a lot of awards and accolades. I got lots of MVP trophies
Right.
at my sports, and I got like I lettered in a bunch of things, and I got really good grades and got awards for getting really good grades, and I got a scholarship one time that I didn't even apply for. Like people were like,
Nice.
"Ben, you're super cool, have money," and I was like, "Okay." But I feel like I've gotten less and less as I've gotten older. But I think that's also because when I was younger, I was an overachiever, and
Right.
like I found my worth in getting awards, and if I wasn't getting awards, I didn't feel worthy of like existing. And now I feel worthy of existing, and I'm like, I'm super cool, and you can give me a ribbon for it or not. It doesn't change the fact that I'm
Right. Yeah,
so
yeah. Right. You don't need a trophy to know that. Yeah.
yeah.
I got you.
But yeah. Okay. Question 2. You'll be bicycle racing an evenly matched friend for a $50 bet. You see that their tires are half flat. What would you tell them?
Can you repeat? Sorry.
Okay, so you've made a bet with your friend that you guys are going to race, and whoever wins 50 bucks. But you notice that their tires are flat. Do you tell them their tires are flat?
Yeah, I don't want him to get some harm or damage. I care for my friend.
I was say they're your friend. I
What do
also would
you
tell
do?
them their tires are flat, not because I am worried about them getting hurt, but because if I'm going to win, I want to win off of merit and not
Right.
not like a technicality. I don't want to be like, I won 50 bucks asterisks. I don't want to do that. I want to be the best. If I'm not the best, then I need to work harder. A convenient transition into this last question. What is more important to you? Winning, not being last, or just playing fair?
I think just playing fair. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Goes with my personality.
I that's also my answer.
Yeah, the second one is don't be in the
Not
last
being
place.
last.
Yeah.
Yeah. So mine toggle between winning and just playing fair. Ideally, I want to play fair and win.
Honestly.
But as I've grown and matured in life and whatnot, I care more about if a game is played well than the outcome. So, and I think that's a hard lesson to learn, especially I grew up as an athlete. So, winning was very important.
I got you.
Okay, so we're wrapping it up a bit. The last question I have for you is if there is one thing that you think that the world needs to know or hear, what is it?
I mean, I can tell them that taking the things slow, thinking before mating, like you don't think in a bad night or when you have anxiety. You don't take big decisions there. You take it in the next morning when you are clear. You have to make big decisions when your mind is clear. Don't rush. I think the things they're common, but you have to wait. You have to be impatient. Is a pretty good way to to get to your objectives, and you have to be calm, and also you can learn a lot about people, and yeah,
I like
I
it.
think that's it.
I mean, I think that's very sound advice, honestly. Um, less rash decisions, more mindfulness.
Right.
Um, okay, I'm not gonna even try it this time because I feel like I'm gonna get it wrong. So I'm gonna say thank you, Gaston, for being on the Common Humanity podcast. It was great to have this conversation with you.